What's up, guys? How you doing? Thanks for joining on Christoph Media. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are watching or listening from. Right, guys, still on the presidential election that just took place, days ago. Days ago. The atmosphere is still tensed. People are, speaking left, right, and center with regards to the outcome of the presidential election. And of course, you have seen several videos with regard to these atrocities committed by several people. Thugs, ranging from thugs snatching ballot boxes, police officers themselves involving in these electoral malpractices, and some governors as well. Social media has it that they are also culpable with regards to all the atrocities that was committed, during that particular election. Now, six states has asked Supreme Court to declare the INEC pronouncement of Tinubu as president-elect null. What I'm trying to say is that six states have proceeded to court, and they have requested that the Supreme Court declare that election null and void. They have proceeded to court. And those six states include Adamawa, Akwa Ibom, Delta, Edo, Sokoto, and Bayelsa states. Those states, they have proceeded to court. Don't forget that a lot is still currently going on because the atmosphere around the election was totally unclear. The rigging was so obvious. Every atrocities that were committed were so obvious in a way that even the international community said that that election that was conducted was never up to the standard, never up to any democratic standard of election, not up to international standard, not even up to local standard, let alone international standard. So what are we talking about? So these governors, they have proceeded to court and they said they are not going to let the case rest until the whole matter is sorted. Take a listen to this, guys.
6 states asked Supreme Court to declare INEC's pronouncement of Tinubu as president-elect null, void, and of no effect for failure to transmit presidential election result electronically as required by Electoral Act, commissions, regulations, and guidelines. Claim federal government has power to compel INEC as agency of government. Yes, you want to say a litany of litigations on this president, but this one seems to be different because 6 states, of course, mainly PDB states, Adamawa, Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, Delta, Edo, and Sokoto, they have dragged the federal government and the Independent National Electoral Commission to the Supreme Court. And their prayers, what they are asking for, they want the Supreme Court to give a declaration, to void the declaration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu as winner, the declaration done by INEC to be voided. And in fact, they are saying that they want the Supreme Court to also declare that announcement of Tinubu as the winner is in flagrant violation of the provisions of Section 25, 47 to 61, and 60 sub 2, and of course Section 62, 64, subsection 4A and B, and Section 144 of the Electoral Act 2022. And of course, they're also seeking an order that the Apex Court directing a holistic review of all results so far announced by the federal government and INEC, which were carried out not in conformity with other than through the manner prescribed by the Electoral Act.
So that, guys, see, it is obvious, even to a day-old child, a day-old baby in the country, knows that that election was not free, was not fair, was not credible. So we don't need anybody to announce or to pronounce or to educate people whether that election was free, fair, and credible. We don't need anybody to do that. More things are coming up, pure evidence, compilation of evidence of where election has been rigged. INEC officials thumbprinting themselves, thumbprinting those ballot box papers, and INEC officials. So we have seen these across board here and there, It's so sad. It's very, very sad. This is just a slap. As a matter of fact, even the president-elect, is called the president-elect, knows. I mean, if I were him, I would not even feel so comfortable, because this is so glaring, this is so crystal clear that election was rigged. Why would I jubilate on something that I did not win? A lot of people knows that the number of people that voted for the president-elect, they are not up to the people that did not vote for him. So what that means is that the people that did not vote for him, are more than the people that voted for him. So how come he became the president-elect? How come was he announced? When laws were bypassed, when elections were, the result were not transmitted electronically as stated by the INEC chairman. It's just quite unfortunate and very sad. Anyway, that's by the way. We continue to bring you update with regard to this. Don't forget that is a huge thing unfolding gradually, and as they come, we will definitely be bringing it to your listening and viewing pleasure, guys. Now, the old Naira note, has been made to go around circulation again. Is back to circulation. People cannot continue to spend their old Naira note from now up until the 31st of December. Okay, the old Naira note is now back in the market, in the economy, in the banks, ATMs, POS, places like that. You can continue to spend the old Naira note, and it's now legal tender. So anywhere you go to, that old Naira must be accepted. This pronouncement was made by the Supreme Court. Don't forget that immediately the Naira swap came on board, people proceeded to court to say, you know what, we aren't taking this. And then, the court, before they now do their hearings, adjournments and sittings and this and that, after the election, just a week, less than a week after the election, the Supreme Court declared that you can now continue to spend your Naira notes, the old Naira notes. Terrible, isn't it? That's the country, Nigeria. Anyway, guys, most importantly, continue to spend the money, until, this is exactly what they were supposed to have done long ago, so that people will not be in chaos. A lot of lives have lost. People died in the hospital because they couldn't get cash, even though transfer was going through that particular time for them to pay their hospital bills. And doctors in Nigeria, most especially in those private hospitals, they will not commence treatment until you make certain deposit. Let's be very honest with ourselves. They will not commence any treatment whatsoever, until you make certain deposits, certain amount of money, So a lot of lives lost. People died of starvation. People died of hunger, no fuel. People didn't get money to do whatever they wanted to do. It's quite unfortunate. But then just a week after the election, when the election has now been concluded, so I believe that the Naira swap or whatever is, revolved around this particular election, whether in favor or against. Whatever it is, guys, I really don't know about that, but the Nigeria that we are, anything is practically possible. It's practically possible, guys. Now, what do you think, guys, with regard to this case? Do you think justice will be served with regard to this? Because we know the PDP and the Labour Party have pronounced that they will be proceeding to court. They will be, making their case to the court, Do you think they're going to get justice? Supreme Court is the highest court in the country, Nigeria. Do you think they're going to get justice with regard to all that has happened? Do you think the Supreme Court, the Lord, will, rub the face of justice in the mud? Guys, whatever it is, whatever your opinion is with regard to that, and this new Naira swap, which I believe personally that is got to do with the election, whether for or against, whether to favor or not. Do you think it's because of that? Whatever your opinion is, guys, I just want to know. Leave it in the comment section for me and for the viewers to see. It's quite fortunate. But then, that's all we've got for you for now, guys. Don't forget, we will definitely be coming on a regular basis to bring you update with regard to this election, because this presidential election matters a lot to we citizens, matters a lot to the country, Nigeria, matters a lot to our economy. So it is not a topic that can be said now and be forgotten about. And the gubernatorial election is coming on the 11th of March. Will implore everyone to come out in mass and make their vote count. Don't say because of what they've done this presidential election, they're going to do the same thing. Still come out with your PVC and make your vote count. It is your right, guys. Whatever your opinion is, guys, leave it in the comment section for us. Try as much as possible to like if you enjoy the content, and try as much as possible to share. That's the only way YouTube itself will be able to recommend this video and many more to others to watch. And on this note, I'll be leaving you. I'll be seeing you in the next video. Bye for now.